Family, we have giants in our midst, and in this moment, not only do we get to meet them, but we get to give them the credit and the praise they deserve. They are educating, creating, providing resources, doing what they can to make the world better, our world better. This is For the Culture. And we're back. Hey
Hello.
there.
Hello. That was a beautiful video.
Oh, thank
Love it.
you. Thank
Yeah.
you. I get a little something. I do, sometimes I do some good work.
Yeah. Super creative.
I'm excited to have you, David. I'm really excited to
Thank
have
you.
you. Welcome. Thank you for being
Thank you.
here.
Thank you for having me.
We'll jump right into the nitty gritty. This is For the Culture, and
Yes,
we'd
indeed.
love to have you. Tell the people, who are you?
Hey, what's going on, world? I'm David. I am the owner of iKengaFit, a fitness business in DC, but I'll just say the DMV because I work with everybody within the DC, Maryland, or Virginia area. Been training for 10 plus years and just been finding my passion in helping individuals find their source of health, whether obviously first through fitness, but just over the years, I've had the experience in working in with nutrition and also working with many people in the whole entire recovery concept of health. So just kind of intertwining all three of those for a fully wellness concept of approaching your health is what I'm doing and enjoying every bit of it.
That is exciting, and I can't wait to get into nitty gritty of all of that. But first, let's go more so into your background.
Okay.
Where were you born and raised?
So I was born in Virginia Beach, Virginia,
Okay.
and I say that because I love the area, but really I was just really raised in Chesapeake, Virginia, which is right next door.
Okay.
But regardless, that whole entire area is kind of like a city in itself. We call it the 757 for people in the area, or Hampton Roads, obviously. But the growing up in that area definitely grew to the mature person that I was before I came to Howard University in 2008, and from there I got my bachelor's degree in uh, human performance with a concentration in sports medicine. And
Okay.
then from there, I got my master's degree in clinical exercise science. And that's where I really began to blend all the experiences that I've had over the years into what I am today, which is a master trainer. I don't like to call myself a fitness trainer. Not to tie myself in with the beginning person who's into the fitness realm. I've gained a lot of experience, so definitely consider myself a master trainer where I'm at
That's
now.
exciting. And we spoke recently. You shared some of the things that you've done in all the different areas that you've been able to
Mm-hmm.
work in as well. So I'm excited to go there. We're going to talk about that too.
For sure.
So born and raised in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And is that where your family from? Is your family from anywhere else?
So, yeah, my family is pretty much from that area. My mother was
Mhm.
more of a military brat, if you will. So
Oh,
she
okay.
grew up all around the world with her father, who was in the Navy or Air Force, in the Air Force. And then my father he's a Virginia boy through and through. He's from the south central portion of Virginia, a little bit below Richmond, but he went to Norfolk State University. My mom went to Tuskegee University, so
Oh,
I definitely would
wow.
say I outside of being family being predominantly from Virginia, I'm definitely grew up in an HBCU household. So my brother also went to Morehouse, so
Wow.
just the whole entire community of being around the HBCUs is what brought me into Howard, what really interested me into coming there. So
That's so
hmm
awesome. I
thank
love
you.
asking about backgrounds. I think especially for that reason, like you being born and raised in Virginia, that's very different. Like I'm a New Yorker. We didn't talk about HBCUs growing up. And so my sister, my one of my older sisters and my younger sister, we ended up going
hmm
to HBCUs, but that was very brand new. So I love the fact that you come
mm,
from a family background of HBC. That's so dope.
yeah, definitely.
And you had shared, I want to get back into what it is that you do because you shared how you got to iKenga and where the name and stuff came from. And so if you don't mind sharing that.
Of course, yeah. So throughout my experience, I've been able of training individuals.
Mhm.
I've been able to work with a lot of people from the clinical route with people who have knee surgeries or who have neurological disorders like Parkinson's, to people who are in the morbidly obese category who are looking for bariatric surgery. So working with those type of individuals who are looking to significantly decrease weight, and even in the general population where just an individual is looking to increase their muscle mass or just decrease their health or increase their general health, and also working in the sports realm. So I've had a lot of experience over the years. But one thing that I've recognized is I believe that I am not getting the best out of my own personal level of knowledge. And so that's what really brought me into developing my own fitness company. I was ready to blend everything that I had together and put it into my own brand. And that's really why I came up with iKengaFit. iKenga is Nigerian for place of strength. It's really an Igbo spirit in the Nigerian culture. And in that Nigerian spirit, it represents how you find your place of strength in any field, whether that's in education or whether that's in military or whether that's through cooking or whatever it is. You find your place of strength through multiple realms. Obviously, with me, it's through health. And even within the Igbo culture, they represent, the Ikenga represents an individual person. They call that the warrior Ikenga, where once again, you have the individual success, and then you have the community Ikenga, which is the group success, which is, how does the community or the group in general find the success and what they're looking for, once again, in all the different realms. And blending that concept into fitness is what brought my motto of the company of find your place of strength, which I want everybody, even though this is based off of off of an African culture, I want all cultures, whether it's Asian, Hispanic, white, in any culture. I would love to bring this concept of finding your place of strength with anything. Once again, specifically with health, but just incorporating that into your whole entire life, whether that's for your career or for your family or anything like that. So once again, that's how I came up with iKengaFit, and not just a fitness thing, but a whole thing, a whole wellness concept.
So I think that's really important because, we talk about holistic healing and all kinds of different things, but to really be able to wrap your mind around, like you said, individual success and group success, what does that look like for the individual person? How do you hit your health goals? How does that overflow into other parts of your life, which is a really huge deal. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
And I think that's beautiful, foundation that you have of your fitness brand and of your company. So I love that. And everybody else is going to love it too. So,
Awesome.
so let's talk more about what it is that you're doing. I know that you said you work with folks throughout the DMV, but I know that we're also in virtual world. So you have clients that are in different places. So what exactly is it that you're doing now with your clients? And do you have any projects that you're working on?
Yeah. So obviously, yes, we are, as trainers specifically, if you want to find the success during a pandemic, you have to adapt to virtual training. It's just the reality of the situation. Of course, once the pandemic hit, it was hard on everybody who specifically speaking specifically to personal trainers and group instructors. It was hard for all of us to adapt to not being able to be in person, because that's what we build our careers off of, is helping people. We have to be there in person to help them out. So, but one thing I will say for myself, not to brag, is I'm very adaptable, and I was able to recognize that because we're stuck at home, we have to stay on the screen. And obviously, Zoom was a great source of course, to connect with people and still keep them accountable with their workouts. So I began to adapt to the virtual realm, and I was able to begin to work with individuals virtually through Zoom, starting off. Then I progressed into the group sessions where
Mm.
I started off with actually the beginning of the pandemic, incorporating a actual live DJ and having some, I call them house party workouts, where I'm leading the workout, and I'm still able to see people while they're doing the workouts on the screens, through the Zoom group workout. And during that time, pretty much during the summer into the fall, close towards the end of the winter time, was all virtual for the most part. I was working for a gym before I have gone full time with iKengaFit, and even they had a virtual concept.
Yeah.
Uh, but going into the gym was still kind of apprehensive for me, at least. Obviously, as a trainer, we still didn't have the vaccine then when we went back to the
Right.
gym. So, there's always that mild apprehension of being exposed. So,
Mhm.
obviously, I left there, and I'm sticking with iKengaFit full, through and through, full time. And now now that the weather is getting nice outside, and I'm able to actually meet up with individuals, I've been going to develop my in-person sessions like I normally have, with it's group or in-person still. But because I've had such a strong practice in virtual training, I've been able to really find the results for individuals who have been working with me over these past couple months or weeks, from whatever their goals are. From I've worked with individuals who have had back pain, and just once again working virtually. All I need is a little bit of space to just see what their bodies are looking like in different angles in the
Right.
screen. And obviously, with my knowledge and being able to explain it to them, they're able to comprehend and do the exercise correctly. And over time, they see the improvement, whether it's for, once again, their back pain, or if it's
Right.
to increase their muscle mass or decrease their weight. All different types of goals and results I've gathered over the past couple weeks and months, to it's strictly virtual. But once again, now that we're going in person,
Right.
I'm definitely able to do that. So, but yeah, and what's also very interesting is, being virtual, I've now been able to expand even further. Obviously, like I mentioned, I'm in the DMV, but I've been able to work with individuals all the way in California,
Nice.
from Detroit to Kansas City to
That's
Texas
awesome.
and New Jersey. So, I've been able to expand even further, and I think that's uh, obviously the pandemic is a horrible thing, but putting myself into this realm, I've been able to recognize the potential that not
Right.
the fitness realm is, but what I have and how I know I can continue to bring my knowledge out even further.
So, there are a lot of things that I heard you say, and one of them is that you're sensitive to what it is that your client sees, which super dope, right? Because we've
Yeah,
seen or heard where trainers like, yes, everybody's doing the same exact regimen. You're like, I don't
yeah,
think this is for me.
yeah, exactly.
So I think that's really beautiful. You do have a lot of experience in what it is that you do. Now, I need to ask a question. This is just for me, because everybody else, some folks may know you really well. Some other folks may be learning about you for the first time.
Yeah,
And um, I met you at Howard, and you were just sweet as pie, kind, helpful. I reached out. I was doing the Greek panel. I was an RA, and I was like, "Hey, I need speakers." And you
yeah, yeah.
were awesome, super approachable.
Thank you.
Now, are you a nice trainer? Because there's always that you go behind. It's like, oh yeah, great, I'm gonna help you, and then drop down and give So what's the real deal? What is it like when you're training?
I'll say this. I definitely am a very approachable, very nice trainer. Maybe to my wife, not really. I'm very a little more stricter with her. She could probably attest to that. But no, I'll say with all my clients, I'm very understandable. Specifically, virtual clients, for sure. I
Okay.
have to have a good understanding of what they're doing, what they're saying. I'm not trying to obviously be rude or anything. I'm not the yelling type. I'm not the rah coach when I'm privately with somebody. One thing, I have worked with sports athletes. That's a whole nother David. And I will admit, I do have little streaks of yelling, or, kind of a different side of myself, if you
Necessary
will.
sometimes. Okay.
But I definitely, when it comes to working with an individual one-on-one, I'm trying to be as connected with them as possible. So if anything, I'm not very aggressive, but I'm very uh, cerebral, if you will, when I'm talking to
Okay.
somebody and they're talking back to me. Like I want to understand what they're feeling, how
Okay.
and how they're doing it. I'm very specific. I'm kind of a nitpicker, if you
Okay.
will. So I'm just trying to detail certain things. Even one thing I've recognized, specifically virtual or in person, people need, especially if you don't know anything about fitness, you need to have somebody there to tell you what you're doing wrong so that you can do it correctly. Because it could be as simple as a squat. When you're going down, your heels might be coming off the
Lots.
floor. You might be dropping
Yeah.
your shoulders down. There's a lot of things that you might be doing that you don't even recognize. But having somebody there to cue you on, hey, make sure that those feet stay flat, or keep your chest up a little bit higher so that you don't hurt your back. And just those small little details with individuals, I recognize, of course, is what makes a difference between a quality workout and just a workout that they're just moving their body. And then a couple minutes later, an hour or so later, they're like, oh, something feels weird in my back, But it's because they didn't, they might have been doing those recorded workouts on whatever YouTube channel. And,
Right.
there's anybody giving them that feedback. And that's what I've definitely been able to, work with or develop with these virtual sessions.
That's super powerful, and you're detail oriented, which is important. The magic is in the details, right? Like
Yeah.
we hear that the magic is in the details. So you touched on that, people going online and using workouts and things like that. What's the importance of having that one-on-one connection or having a teacher, even in a group setting, versus, like you said, go online and take a class and try to
Yeah.
figure it out? What's the importance? What's the difference?
Yeah. Yeah. I think, and just what I kind of hinted to before is just making sure that you have that feedback, that external feedback that's telling you, hey, you're doing this wrong. Try and focus on this. And it's very small details that can really change the whole entire concept of the workout, even when it comes to breathing. That's what I found was kind of tough for a lot of people, virtually or in person, is just being able to breathe correctly.
Yes.
You could fatigue yourself out quickly if you aren't breathing correctly. But that's really the benefit of having that external feedback for yourself, as opposed to going online to like I said, any video, whether it's YouTube or just another software streaming website or app that doesn't really give you the wherewithal to say, hey, you are doing this wrong. Do it this way, or let me show you how to do it this way. I think also it's not just the feedback for the exercises, but I'm cheering them on, and it's live cheer, it's a live return of affection. I see that they just did a workout or I see that they did an exercise that they couldn't do previously, and they recognize it. But then you have me saying, oh my gosh, you just did this. You didn't do that last time, so great job. And I think having that is also mentally helpful for an individual to say that they can see the improvement, as opposed to doing some sort of computerized automatic program that you might have increased the reps, but there isn't that that human interaction that's saying, hey, great job, you did this that you couldn't do last time.
That's so good. I'm grateful. I ain't even get cheated on yet, and I'm like, I did it. You're right. I'm grown. So that really is important. Now, you do amazing work. You have clients that are all over. What drives you to do what you do?
I think it's the passion of recognizing when an individual, for one, can do the exercise that they wanted to do, or do the event that they were working to get to.
Yeah.
But also finding those results. I mean, obviously within this field, you have to be a results driven individual, or else your business won't grow as well as you would like it to be. But telling somebody that they will get to that weight, and they get to that weight or plus more, as in whether it's increasing or decreasing, they find that result that they couldn't get ever, or they couldn't get with somebody else, or they couldn't do because they didn't know how to do it. It's that like, oh, I can do it, or I did it. And me recognizing that that I help them do that. I think it's that passion I've found is what really drives me in finding that result for them.
I'm appreciative because you are mission driven in the sense that your excitement comes from helping people hit their goal. And that's powerful because people can tell the difference, sometimes consciously, sometimes subconsciously, right? Like whether or not somebody's actually for them. So I think that's really important. So again, hat goes off to you as a trainer for people to
Thank
be
you.
able to have that relationship, you know, with you. And you want to be encouraged. You want to know that somebody is rooting you on. You want to have somebody that actually cares that you get done, that you said, whatever it was that you said you wanted to get done. So that's important. So you're the bomb.com. I'm going to ask, I call this the humble brag moment. Let us know, what do you feel like you add to, what value do you feel like you add to the Black community?
Yeah. Well, for one, just the knowledge base of understanding how to not only develop your own workout routine, but once again, I mentioned the whole entire wellness concept of your health, which is understanding your nutrition better. I am not a dietitian. I will say that out loud. And so I can't actually tell you what to give you a registered, a food plan to follow. But I do have a certification in nutrition, and I've worked once again in the nutrition realm for a while with individuals and just kind of guiding them on what is proper to eat and what isn't. But having that guidance is important, but also really understanding how to recover physically and mentally. And incorporating all three of those together, I think has really kind of pushed that envelope a little bit more for myself, and also allowed me to kind of blend and allow people to find their true selves through all three of those. You have to have faith in that. You have to have faith in something to believe in, so that you can continue to push yourself and find a reason to get up in the morning, or a reason to do the work that you're doing. Once again, my passion is kind of into my passion with finding individuals results with their health is, what's guided me in my faith of like, okay, this is my purpose. This is what I believe I'm here for. So yeah, definitely.
This is huge. And for anybody that gets to see this, I hope that they really get to take this in, because value does come in so many different ways. And wellness and fitness is a huge part. I feel like, that's a gap that we have, especially in Black and brown communities, for, a plethora of reasons. But whenever it is that you have somebody that's willing, to bring the knowledge base to you and say, hey, we can grow, we can do better, because it starts with the individual. So that's also really powerful. Now, this is an open question for you, but what do you feel like the Black community needs at large?
That's a good question. I'm gonna have to think on that for a couple of seconds, because there's so much. And I think because there's so much. I think that we can go all the way onto a political realm, talk with that.
Right.
But specifically for me on the health realm, I think Black people, the community, Black and brown people, I think we have this. For one, we do have a stigma where we don't know what to do, but really it's what's around our community that is limiting our ability to understand what's going on. So for instance, I live in Southeast DC. All right. There's no gyms in this area. And after looking at a health census, the Southeast portion of DC also has one of the highest rates of heart failure and heart disease. So if those two things kind of tie together, where the health disparity doesn't really reside in not just our level of education or knowledge base, but it really resides in our community, our environment. And I think that's what's the first step that we need to switch up, that will allow the Black community as a whole to have a better understanding of how to eat properly, how to move properly, how to recover mentally and physically properly. When I mean mentally and physically recover, I mean like you need to understand your mental health. That's extremely important, more than your physical health. Your mental health is extremely important. Physical health as well through recovering, through exercising and stuff like that. Meditation is also kind of a blend of both. But that's what I mean by mental and physical recovery. But the Black community doesn't have, well, in the lower income areas, it doesn't have as well of a vessel to go into, to dig into and understand how to do certain things. And once again, I think that that's what we need. That's what we need. Somebody, of course, me, not the humble brag, right? But people like myself who knows what to do, how to do it, and has the resources to provide that to the community, to allow the community as a whole to understand what they're doing wrong or what they could be doing better to increase their health. Once again, in my perspective, or for my career, to increase their health so that they can, further, be there, have the longevity that they're looking for, reverse that curve of the health disparity that we all see in the lower income areas of the country.
Healthcare, health disparities in Black communities, like you said, you also pointed out lower income communities is a huge problem. And I'm grateful that you're operating where you are. Because what I heard you say is that I'm in a space and I'm in a community where there are no gyms. I'm in a space where I'm recognizing all of these health conditions and I'm here. Right. And I'm available and I'm doing my part, which is also really powerful. We have all of these ideas, and not to say, if you ever wanted to, that you can't move, that, like not that, but we have this idea of like, oh my gosh, people learn what they know, they have the degrees, they get the education, and they leave out the hood and they do this and they do that. But it's beautiful to know that, number one, we're virtual, right? So you can get to anybody who is willing to receive the help or hire or reach out.
You got it.
But also that you're currently in a community where you can take your knowledge and your information and the trainings that you've gone through and say, hey, let's grow individually, collectively. So that's awesome. And so if you were to hear somebody say, hey, David, I want to be like you, what would you say?
So first I'd say, good luck. No, I'm playing. No, I say great choice. You would love being a master trainer, a person who understands everything about wellness. And you, in return, will increase your health as well, because you will have to learn how to not only treat human bodies, but how to understand them on a more conscious level. You can't just go on YouTube anymore and pick out a bunch of exercises and throw it into somewhere, or you can't just read up of Instagram model who just said that you can have a bunch of flat tummy teas and you'll be good to go.
Right.
Understanding your body is what you're going to enjoy, but there's going to be a lot of work, because being a trainer, you are an entrepreneur. You are running your own business, regardless. Even if you're at a gym, you are the owner of your brand, which is your name. You're just working under another entity, which is the name of that gym, whatever it might be, the YMCA or Gold's Gym or whatever it is. You are working underneath them, but individuals come to you for your name. They don't come to the gym for themselves. They're coming to the gym for you. So you have to understand how to run a business. You're gonna be a business person. You're gonna be a businessman or woman, and understanding that field of how to hustle and make your own clientele and keep your own clientele and figure out ways to build upon your clientele is all part of this career. And some people don't enjoy it, I will admit, but some people love it, just like myself, which is what led me to go purely private and be able to kind of do things on my own. And I will admit, the great thing about it is I can make my own schedule, and I don't have a 9 to 5. I if I want to go on vacation, I don't have to put in sick leave or vacation leave or anything like that to, once again, or if I'm sick, right, I don't have to put in sick leave. So making my own schedule is wonderful. So, there's pluses and minuses really with anything that you do, but I definitely believe that anybody who is interested in pursuing this field or this career would truly enjoy it, especially if you have a passion for what I mentioned earlier, for changing individuals' lives.
You have a passion for changing individuals' lives. That was a loaded statement. That was loaded because, again, you know what? Okay, I'll phrase it this way.
Yeah.
It's like I can go to school and become a teacher. That doesn't make me a good teacher, right? Like we all know the difference between the educator that has a heart for their students versus the one that's like, oh, it's a stable job. Like that's very different. So what I heard you just say now is like, yeah, like, yes, you can do it, pursue it. But especially for anyone that's like, yeah, you have a heart to help people, to change people's lives. Like that's powerful. Yes, you should be a trainer. If this is where your passion is, go that route. So let me ask you this. Do you have any shout outs at all? Anybody, anywhere that you want to call out?
Yeah, I mean, being in the field, you tend to connect with individuals. As of right now, I'm still trying to build up a team of individuals that are good at what they do. More specifically, I am still trying to connect with a ton of different people. But more specifically, my cousin, her name is Clary. She is the owner and on her entrepreneur status as well. But she's more tied into the yoga and meditation side of things. And so, look out for a little thing between me and her as we're, putting something together for us to really blend our knowledge of fitness and yoga and, once again, recovery through meditation and figuring out ways to increase your nutritional habits as well. So we're trying to blend that together so that we can really, push the envelope of the health conscious community that we are in as well. And obviously she lives up here, but she's the owner of Saging Grace, which you can, find that on any of the Instagram or websites. At Saging Grace is her handle, I do believe. And, she has some great content as well. So that's the main person I like to shout out. But another one of my good friends, he's a boxing instructor in the area. His name is Harold, but he likes to go by Lucky. So I do believe his Instagram is just at Lucky Fitness or at Lucky DC, one of the two. Actually, I don't know it by heart, but if you're in the DC area, you might know him. So
Nice.
If I call him out, if somebody in the area is watching, hopefully they recognize the name. But if you have any boxing, if you're looking for any boxing instructors, he does virtual and in person as well. So he's an extremely great instructor. But yeah, I mean that's it for the most part. Still trying to maybe next time I'll have a dietitian on hand to shout out, or maybe a massage therapist. But not right now.
That's awesome though. Sage and Grace. First of all, I love that name.
Yeah,
I will be following
yeah,
Sage
please.
and Grace, and shout out to you also, Lucky. That's super dope. So now we get to have some more fun.
Okay.
And we are going to do a rapid fire.
Okay.
Rapid fire. And we're just gonna see what you say. We'll see where this goes. All right. Just a few. So what is your favorite food?
Favorite food? Omelets. I can have an omelet in the morning or at night or dinner. I love omelets. Yes.
That's awesome. Do you have a favorite book?
I would say Between the World and Me by Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Nice.
That was a very strong, powerful book. I feel like everybody should read.
Favorite? Do you have a favorite quote?
There's so many quotes. I don't think I have a favorite.
Okay.
I don't think I have a favorite. I'll admit there's a lot of quotes out there. I'll say this: find the place of strength.
Place of strength. Find your place of strength.
Find your place of strength.
That's so good. Do you have a role model?
Role model. I will say Barack Obama for right now.
Okay.
That's who comes to my head right away.
Rock.
Yeah, so we'll just stick with that since it's just rapid
Okay.
fire.
I'll take it. I love it. What about one word to describe how you're feeling right now?
Excited.
Excited. Do you have a favorite workout?
Ooh. Battle ropes.
I'm sorry, that battle what?
So it's like a weighted rope, rope about three. Actually, I don't know the size of it. It's a big size rope. You wrap it around like a pole or anything like that, and it's a full dynamic exercise where you predominantly upper body, where you're like moving your arms up and down, and you're kind of making a wave in the rope, or two hands. Or there's multiple motions and directions that you can go with it, but. Yeah, I think I like the battle rope because you kind of, when you're into it, if people who understand what I'm talking about, you know what I mean. When you're in the battle rope and you're just kind of like in the zone,
Yeah.
it looks like wavelengths. You're just going up and down with it, so it's kind of cool to get mesmerized into that.
He's a real trainer, y'all.
Yep, you know it.
And then something that you're proud of.
iKengaFit. Being able to not only develop it on the business side and obviously on the trainer side, but being able to find the results, being able to see the vision that I wanted for it and act on that, and then also how I've begun to really dig deep into entrepreneurship and how I'm able to understand it and enjoy it. Some people just do not enjoy it, but I enjoy the concept of entrepreneurship. So iKengaFit is what's really given me that level of understanding of, oh, this is fun. I enjoy it, and I'm proud to say that I've been able to develop this on my own.
I love it. So, one more question that I forgot to ask earlier. If anything, what would you like to be remembered by?
Is this so part of the rapid fire?
Nope, you can take.
Oh, okay.
You got more time with this one. You got more time with this one.
Because I might need a couple more seconds with this one.
Right, you got more time with this. What's something, or what would you like to be remembered by?
I would like to be remembered by the impact that I had on my community, whether it's individual or in person. People to say that, David helped me do this, or David was able to understand me when I didn't understand that subject, and whatever it might be. But just having an impact on my community, the legacy that I provide, when I have kids, when me and my wife have kids one day, and or when I become a grandfather, I want families to be talking about my last name, about our last name, about me specifically. But being able to have that legacy where people knew me and knew me for the impact that I had on their health.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. I'm so grateful that you have shared so many good nuggets with us. This has been great.
Cool.
Where can people find you? How do people contact you, hire you, anything, anywhere that people can get in contact with you?
Yeah, so my website is iKengaFit, and I have the right here, IKENGA Fit. All right, iKengaFit.com. Or I primarily go through if you will, market through my social media Instagram handle, which is at iKengaFit. Nothing else after that. Once again, IKENGAFIT. And but I have a Twitter. I don't really frequent on that as much, but I more than likely will sooner than later. I have a Facebook, of course. All of them are at iKengaFit. LinkedIn as well. But primarily, just follow me through Instagram, and you'll be able to see all of the things that I do and the focuses that I can provide to the community. Just if it's just information on nutrition or exercise or motivation, that's how I kind of design my Instagram profile.
Love
So
that.
specifically to that.
I'll make sure to follow David now.
Thank you.
Super dope. So any final words, anything that you want to say to anyone that gets to see this?
Yeah. Well, thank you all if you watched all of this. I definitely appreciate y'all. Kat, thank you. I appreciate you for giving me this platform to, push iKengaFit even further. Moving forward into this spring, summertime of this year, as the weather gets nice, I'm doing more outdoor workouts. So for people in the DMV area who, have a source of transportation, I'm going to be doing outdoor workouts by the National Mall. So just, pay attention. Definitely connect in with Instagram or go on the website to see my calendar of exercises. But even for people who want to just work out with me anywhere, just like I said, I'm able to work virtually with anybody around the country. I do virtual group workouts as well. So that allows me to be able to connect with the people all across the country. So once again, connect in with me on that. I post all my dates of exercises on my calendar on my website. Once again, iKengaFit.com. But I also push and promote it on my Instagram primarily, which is also connected to my Facebook. So, and how that goes, that those two dual promotions. But definitely Instagram, follow me on that, and you'll be able to connect with me even further to just, get some workouts in. All right.
I love it.
Wonderful.
You are amazing. Thank you for being you. Thank you so much for spending time again with us. I'm excited because this again is just another area where folks, I'm hoping that they heard everything it is that you said and they're inspired and excited about their own health. And that they also reach out to you because you really do add so much value. So thank you for being you and for all the nuggets and for your passion and for your drive. And family, thank you guys for being here and tuning in to another episode of For the Culture. Until next time. Bye for now, family.